colonialism. Fanon argues that colonialism dehumanizes the native by reducing them to the status of an animal. The native, however, never accepts this definition of themselves. As they awaken politically, they reject the colonizers' claims to civilization and begin to mock the very values that were used to justify their oppression. When decolonization begins, the colonial system relies on the managerial or intermediary class to negotiate on its behalf. Having been educated and socialized within the colonizer's worldview, this class attempts to preserve colonial institutions through appeals to moderation, culture, legality, and Western values. When these efforts fail, they wage a rearguard defense of colonial power through ideology rather than direct force. What this intermediary class fails to understand is that the settler has no genuine interest in coexistence if exploitation is no longer possible. Once the native resolves to claim their humanity, compromise on the terms of colonial domination is no longer acceptable. The principle that the last shall be first is not a bargaining position, but a revolutionary reality. The managerial class is ultimately abandoned by the settler because its value existed only so long as it could manage to colonize. Forced to return to the people, it must confront the truth that survival depends on the collective rather than individual advancement. Fanon presents this communal orientation as fundamentally opposed to the individualism cultivated under colonial rule. In societies where decolonization has not taken root, the native bourgeoisie and self-proclaimed intellectuals often exploit the suffering of the people for personal gain. Rather than transforming society, they reproduce colonial patterns through corruption, legal robbery, and self-enrichment. Fanon argues that these intellectuals eventually discover that the people do not need to claim the truth. They embody it through their lived experience and collective struggle.
It said that every revolutionary act is an act of love, and this is an act of love. All power to the people. I said the P is for power, the A for action, the NZ because now is the time to get it done. See, the H is for heart and
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? But what does it say about us when we're watching a human being murder another human being on social media and we do nothing about it? I went to Madison to organize, not to scream into a goddamn void, but to take action. My plan was simple. We are all witnesses to a crime. Yeah, you too. Whether the shooter wears a badge or not, we saw a murder. I wanted us to file police reports to force the paper trail. But when I read the room, I realized the crowd wasn't there for paperwork. They were there for something else. So we pivoted because we don't have the luxury of billionaires funding our movement, okay? We don't have scripted talking points. All we have is our intuition and our collective power. So when we heard that the police chief was holding a press conference, we made a decision. We're done attending to their narratives. We are done being props in their theater. So we marched down there with one goal. That conference was not going to happen because the truth is, we know the rhetorical pattern. We know that they craft the narrative to protect the institution. We shut that shit down, and we turned it into the people's press conference. We took that microphone back because if we don't control our own story, they will continue to manufacture one for us, okay? Now let me be crystal clear. When I got there, I was met by non-profit talking heads, okay? The ones who want to coddle the imperialist police chief. They told me I was too aggressive. They told me to be quiet. They told me to listen, and with every fiber of my being, I wanted to ignore them, but I stood down, not because it was the right thing to do, but because it was what the people in that room wanted. So I need you to understand that that the movement is not about me or you. It's about discipline. It's about listening to the community, even when your ego is screaming otherwise. So I shut up. But that doesn't mean I agree with them. We are done having conversations with people who have shown us a pattern of violence. We are done letting them just talk to pacify us. So was I angry? You goddamn right I was angry. And yes, I use profanity because sometimes please and thank you don't convey the urgency of a life that was just taken. My anger was controlled, but it was real, all right? Because we are human beings. And if you aren't angry about this, you aren't paying attention. So what's the takeaway? The takeaway is that the real power is not in a strategy room. It is in the streets. It is in the collective. If you want to know what to do next, stop waiting for a leader. Look to your left. Look to your right. That is your resource. We will get our point across by any means necessary. So even if that means taking back our narrative, not with permission, but with presence, but with the power of the people.
Other niggas. I'm making sure nigga all right. That's what I'm fucking doing. Hey, bro, you good, bro? Fuck. Niggas shouldn't be able to just jump out of nobody out here, bro. I hate these fucking pigs, man. They shouldn't be able to come in our community and just grab, kidnap niggas. No, it ain't yours. But why? Like, but it ain't his. Why he grabbing it? It ain't yours. It ain't yours. Y'all just came out my fucking car. You saw me just come out my car. It ain't yours. So why you grabbing it? Who told you it's abandoned? They probably went in the house or something. They probably went in the house. They probably went in the house. Don't anybody come in front of your yard and take your shit? What the fuck you talking about? They probably went in the house. You just came here and grabbed people's shit. You just walked up and grabbed motherfucking shit. Talking about, is it yours? And you going through people's shit. How you going through people's shit? You don't have no reason to search it. You don't have no fucking warrant. Get the fuck out this shit. You fucking thief. That's what. Yo, I'm telling you, bro. Look at these white motherfuckers, man. Like, this what the fuck they doing, man. Ain't nobody free out here. Look at this. This shit is flawless. Everything they doing is fucking illegal. You can't walk up and just start searching people's shit, taking people's IDs. Where's your fucking ID? Who the fuck are you? You think you come up with a fucking Kansas City hat, motherfucker? You somebody? Who the fuck are you? Just walk up in here harassing motherfuckers. Y'all the real fucking terrorists. Hey, yo, why you don't go where you live at, little nigga? Why you don't go where you live at, little nigga? Yo, you, little nigga. Why you don't go where you live at and do this? Why you don't do this where you live at? Why you don't do this police state shit where you live at? Why you do that shit here? Why you come here? Why you don't do it where you live at? You see, they tell me, right? They tell me all cops ain't bad, but all you motherfuckers have to come around here and terrorize our community. All of you are bad. Yo, you the one that was walking in the street, right, trying to get people for tickets? That was you. You was trying to entrap people for tickets. That was you. Entrapment. You're a fucking criminal. You're a fucking criminal. Yeah, that's what you do. You come in our community, terrorize our communities. But if everybody starts standing the fuck up, ain't none of this shit will be going down. Look. Hey, look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. This is a police state. This is a police state. Look at them. This is a police state. What freedom we got out here? I'm with the Black Panther Party. I'm going to go over there. Yeah. Let him out. Let him out. What are you in the car for? What are you doing in the car? Let him out. Who y'all done kidnapped? Who the fuck y'all done kidnapped? Out here stealing niggas. Out here stealing niggas. Where's she at? They got black niggas. They got black pigs and everything. Black pigs and every fucking thing. Real talk. Malcolm said that shit. Malcolm said they got black pigs. They got white pigs. They got black and white pigs. I ain't terrorizing motherfuckers. Your own kind. This Catch a Freeman niggas been here forever, man. Catch a Freeman ass.
You're muted.
Thank you. All power to the people. I don't know. I always forget that. All power to the people. Welcome to All Power to the People on Grown Folks Talk and Express Yourself. I am your host, Chairman Africa, and we're about to go through listening to this section of Frantz Fanon's Wretched of the Earth. Then after that, we're going to go, like, well, we're going to juxtapose it with the reality we're dealing with now. And then we're going to see how we deal, like use whatever he's saying here to deal with the conditions outside our windows, outside our homes. Today we got a great show. We got somebody coming here. He's been all over social media. Everybody was shocked, including myself, when we saw what happened, what he did in Madison. We're going to talk about that after we listen to Fanon. I don't want to take too much time. I think it's about 11 minutes. I may stop it once or twice. I'm going to stop it once or twice to probably give some commentary, but I'm going to try to let it flow. I mean, but every week I got to do this. I just want to go on. Like, to me, it seems like we just in the living room talking. Like, everybody that's here at the show, we're just having a conversation. But some people, this is their first time here, so I have to go back and give a recap of what we're doing here. Look, we're tired of the conditions in the community. We're tired of the housing condition, of people coming in, doubling the rent, pushing us out of our homes, making us homeless. We're tired of people price gouging. Food going up, everything going up, water, lights, everything. Very soon they're going to be charging for air outside. We're tired of living like this, and we don't want to live like this anymore. So what do? How do you change the conditions outside? How do you change we call it material conditions, like real? How do you change these real conditions that we're dealing with? Because most people don't hate the weekdays. They just hate capitalism. Most people don't hate Monday. They just hate having to get up to go to work on Mondays. They make even the weekday a bad thing. I mean, but we come here and have these conversations to find out how we solve those issues, because those issues are strangling the shit out of most of us. Excuse my language. I mean, but I'm going to play this, I mean, so we could listen, and then after we listen to this, we're going to have a conversation about it. And look, as Panthers, the first duty of a revolutionary is to be educated. We believe in education. I mean, you can't organize nobody, you can't have no revolution if you don't even know who you're fighting against. If you don't even know who your enemy is, who your friends are. And what's his name? Mumia Abu Jamal. I heard him a few months ago on somewhere, and he said, I've heard it before, but he said Wretched of the Earth was like the Bible for revolutionaries when he was young. Like at one point in time, that's what they referred to Wretched of the Earth, the Bible for revolutionaries. So if you're a revolutionary, you haven't read it, or you don't know what's in it, you don't know what it's about, I mean, you're welcome to come here and come get some of this work. I'm about to play it.
Objectively, the intellectual behaves in this phase like a common opportunist. In fact, he has not stopped maneuvering. There is never intellectual behavior.
Hey, hold up. No, should I even start playing it, or should I go back to the recap from last week? Because I don't like when we jumping into it. Like I said, I mean, it's like I'm talking to my friends, my family in the living room. We having this conversation because I already listened to what we did last week. I did all that to prepare for the show right now. But it's people coming in that don't know what happened last week. We have a recap. I don't know how we're going to do that. I don't know if I should have
do a quick recap then.
Play the recap of what we talked about last week.
Yeah, sure.
Let me go back on the recap. Let me go back. Wretched of the Earth recap. So this is the second recap. So you really didn't miss that much. Because we had the first week, we listened to about 10, 15 minutes, and then this was the second week, we listened to, I believe, 16 minutes of it. This is the recap of what we listened to last week.
Fanon argues that colonialism dehumanizes the native by reducing them to the status of an animal. The native, however, never accepts this definition of themselves. As they awaken politically, they reject the colonizers' claims to civilization and begin to mock the very values that were used to justify their oppression. When decolonization begins, the colonial system relies on the managerial or intermediary class to negotiate on its behalf. Having been educated and socialized within the colonizer's worldview, this class attempts to preserve colonial institutions through appeals to moderation, culture, legality, and Western values. When these efforts fail, they wage a rearguard defense of colonial power through ideology rather than direct force. What this intermediary class fails to understand is that the settler has no genuine interest in coexistence if exploitation is no longer possible. Once the native resolves to claim their humanity, compromise on the terms of colonial domination is no longer acceptable. The principle that the last shall be first is not a bargaining position, but a revolutionary reality. The managerial class is ultimately abandoned by the settler because its value existed only so long as it could manage the colonized. Forced to return to the people, it must confront the truth that survival depends on the collective rather than individual advancement. Fanon presents this communal orientation as fundamentally opposed to the individualism cultivated under colonial rule. In societies where decolonization has not taken root, the native bourgeoisie and self-proclaimed intellectuals often exploit the suffering of the people for personal gain. Rather than transforming society, they reproduce colonial patterns through corruption, legal robbery, and self-enrichment. Fanon argues that these intellectuals eventually discover that the people do not need to claim the truth. They embody it through their lived experience and collective struggle.
All power to the people. Hey man, I'm telling you, every time you listen, like every part you listen to, this dude be dropping bars. That's the recap that we did after listening to it. But even listening to the book itself, reading it and taking these messages in, I'm telling you, it's profound. Like it's just like I don't even listen to hip hop no more. When I'm in the car driving, I put the book on. I listen to audiobooks because like it's way deeper than that. So now I'm about to go into this section. So it's a continuation from what he just said. I mean, like the what you call it? Everybody saw what happened in Madison. Everybody saw that video. Saw the brother go up there and take the mic from the police chief. He didn't have to affirm his reality in that space. Him being there himself is what's enough. Was the truth. All we have, the people, all we have in this struggle, our mightiest weapon is the truth. Like keeping it real. Like, I'm sure he didn't write down what he was going to say. I'm sure when he left his house that day, he didn't say to himself, I'm about to go over there and take the microphone from the chief of police. He affirmed his humanity right there without having to do any of that. And we're going to talk to the brother today in a little bit. But even just like when I see things every day, when stuff come inside, like my data, whatever, my computer, my mind, I filter those things through the books I'm reading, through the stuff that I know, or the information that I've collected. And as soon as I saw him speaking up there, when Du Bois said, not Du Bois, when Fanon said that the people don't have to like explain anything, affirm the truth, because they are the truth, because they're going through the process, they're going through it themselves. Like when I saw him speaking up there, I understood where that power came from. See, most people don't understand. Like you watching, you don't know where that power comes from, the ability to do that. But he's been through that. He's seen how these police run their mouth. He's going to say it in the video when we watch him speak. He's seen how they do this time after time after time. They explain away. They explain what we see with our own two eyes. And because the penalties are steep, most of us act like we accept what we're hearing them say. And we go on by our day tomorrow, which is Monday. I mean, but what he was talking about the people, like they are the truth, that's what he was talking about. When that brother got up there, you can't really say that. What you going to say, he's lying? What did he say up there that was a lie? Well, let me play this right here. But this is a continuation from last week. This was done by Comrade, the Minister of Information, Comrade Rod. I mean, let me play it right now.
Objectively, the intellectual behaves in this phase like a common opportunist. In fact, he has not stopped maneuvering. There is never any question of his being either rejected or welcomed by the people. What they ask is simply, that all resources should be pooled. The inclusion of the native intellectual and the upward surge of the masses will in this case be differentiated by a curious cult of detail. That is not to say that the people are hostile to the analysis. On the contrary, they like having things explained to them. They are glad to understand a line of argument, and they like to see where they are going. But at the beginning of his association with the people, the native intellectual overstresses details and thereby comes to forget that the defeat of colonialism is the real object of the struggle. Carried away by the multitudinous aspects of the fight, he tends to concentrate on local tasks, performed with enthusiasm, but almost always too solemnly. He fails to see the whole of the movement all the time. He introduces the idea of special disciplines, of specialized functions, of departments within the terrible stone crusher, the fierce mixing machine which a popular revolution is. He is occupied in action on a particular front, and it so happens that he loses sight of the unity of the movement. Thus, if a local defeat is inflicted, he may well be drawn into doubt and from thence to despair. The people, on the other hand, take their stand from the start on the broad and inclusive positions of bread and the land. How can we obtain the land and bread to eat? And this obstinate point of view of the masses, which may seem shrunken and limited, is in the end the most worthwhile and the most efficient mode of procedure. The problem of truth ought also be considered. In every age, among the people, truth is the property of the national cause. No absolute verity, no discourse on the purity of the soul can shake this position. The native replies to the living lie of the colonial situation by an equal falsehood. His dealings with his special nationals are open. They are strained and incomprehensible with regard to the settlers. Truth is that which hurries on the breakup of the colonialist regime. It is that which promotes the emergence of the nation. It is all that protects natives and ruins the foreigners. In this colonialist context, there is no truthful behavior, and the good is quite simply that which is evil for them. Thus, we see that the primary Manichaeism which governed colonial society is preserved intact during the period of decolonization. That is to say that the settler never ceases to be the enemy, the opponent, the foe that must be overthrown. The oppressor in his own sphere starts the process, a process of domination, of exploitation, and of pillage. And in the other sphere, the coiled, plundered creature, which is the native, provides fodder for the process as best he can. The process which moves uninterruptedly from the banks of the colonial territory to the palaces and the docks of the mother country. In this becalmed zone, the sea has a smooth surface. The palm trees stir gently in the breeze. The waves lap up against the pebbles, and raw materials are ceaselessly transported, justifying the presence of the settler. And all the while the native, bent double, more dead than alive, exists interminably in an unchanging dream. The settler makes history. His life is an epoch, an odyssey. He is the absolute beginning. This land was created by us. He is the unceasing cause. If we leave, all is lost, and the country will go back to the Middle Ages. Over against him, torpid creatures, wasted by fevers, obsessed by ancestral customs, form an almost inorganic background for the innovating dynamism of colonial mercantilism.
How many times we say we don't want the police in our community, and then you hear people say it's going to be lawlessness. As if the government do not put people in the community to police the community, the people would not know how to behave. This is the kind of stuff that they say to you. This is what he's talking about. As soon as we start to challenge and we say we can't live like this no more, this is not negotiable. We have to change. We don't want the police here. We don't want the police in our communities. You're going to hear people that say grandma can't go to the store. Yo, if we live in the ghetto, in the hood, nobody's grandmother's ever been outside and said I can't go to the store. In fact, the older people, when I was growing up, until they removed the benches and stuff from in front of the buildings, used to sit outside. All night they used to be outside talking. I mean that's what we did culturally in the hood. The old people were out there. The landlords came in and they removed the benches, they removed everything outside. But that didn't stop nothing. If you go to Spires now, you see them. If it's not too hot outside, the old people come out because they got to go somewhere. People can't just be locked into their homes all day. I mean, but when you start to say things like, we don't need these police, these corrupt police officers, the police officers that we see shooting people, assassinating people on camera without care, without hesitation. When we say we don't want those people in our communities, you're going to hear some people, the managerial class, come and tell us how we need black police officers with cameras. If they put a camera on them, if they make them black, things are going to change. None of that has changed anything. In fact, it has become worse. This picture, you're looking at the picture right there on the screen. I took this video. This picture came from the video that I took. You know why they got that brother on cuffs? And if you don't have a video, if you're not looking at the video, watching it through the video, whatever, there's a brother laying on the floor with a white T-shirt on, and two police officers are bent over him. He got cuffs on. One is holding his hand on his arm, and the other one is bent in front of him. Two of them. And he has a white T-shirt. He's laying on the floor. I jumped out of my car when I was driving. I had just finished taking the kids. Like we had just finished the camp, and I was dropping the last kid off. And when I passed by the block, I saw the police jump out of their cars. And when they jumped out, I pulled over, and I jumped out of my car to go see what they were doing. And when I got there, they had already grabbed them up, and they had them on the floor. You know why they grabbed them like that? On everything. I got the video. I should have played the video. You know why they grabbed them? Because I went back. I saw them the day after this. I went back to the block over there to see what was going on. They grabbed him and put him in cuffs because they said when they jumped out of the car, he resisted. How did he resist? Because his body tensed up. So they put the cuffs on and they locked him up for resisting arrest. We're not supposed to use profanity here. We're not supposed to curse. We got to watch our language. This ain't my app. This ain't my space. I was invited here. But the only thing that come in my mind is profanity. Like, look at him. He done took a shower, got clean, coming outside fresh, got on his fresh white tee, coming outside just to relax. This is around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Police jump out the car in a democracy where we're supposed to be free. They jump out the car and they grab them. They say they put the cuffs on them. And if you never had them cuffs get placed on you, and you hear them the clicking sound, they put your hands behind your back, and you don't know what's going on. You don't know what your future is gonna be like. You just they just got you. And when I didn't even know what I told you just now about the reason why they locked him up. I didn't know till I spoke to him. At this moment when I was recording, when I was capturing this, I didn't know. I didn't know why they grabbed him. He was in the car banging his head on the window like, let me go, because he had done nothing. And I said in the video, who you done kidnapped? Because we already know. I don't need to affirm the truth. I am the truth. We are the truth. We know what these people do in our communities. But when you listen to the politicians, when you listen to the celebrities, they try to tell us about incrementalism. How all we got to do is just talk to the police nice. Be respectful. Let them brutalize us, do all this stuff to us, and then we're going to take them to court. Like we got lawyers around here just waiting to go sue these people. They know we can't afford lawyers to sue them. That's why they're in our communities. They don't go to rich communities. It's a class struggle, goddammit. They know we don't have no money. Let me keep going. We almost done.
Settler makes history and is conscious of making it. And because he constantly refers to the history of his mother country, he clearly indicates that he himself is the extension of that mother country. Thus, the history which he writes is not the history of the country which he plunders, but the history of his own nation in regards to all that he skims off and all that he violates and starves. The immobility to which the native is condemned can only be called in question if the native decides to put an end to the history of colonization, the history of pillage, and to bring into existence the history of the nation, the history of decolonization. A world divided into compartments, a motionless, manichaeistic world, a world of statues, the statue of the general who carried out the conquest, the statue of the engineer who built the bridge, a world which is sure of itself, which crushes with its stones the backs flayed by whips. This is the colonial world. The native is a being hemmed in. Apartheid is simply one form of the division into compartments of the colonial world. The first thing which the native learns is to stay in his place and not to go beyond certain limits. This is why the dreams of the native are always of muscular prowess. His dreams are of action and of aggression. I dream I am jumping, swimming, running, climbing. I dream that I burst out laughing, that I span a river in one stride, or that I am followed by a flood of motor cars which never catch up with me. During the period of colonization, the native never stops achieving his freedom from 9 in the evening until 6 in the morning. The colonized man will first manifest his aggressiveness, which has been deposited in his bones against his own people. This is the period when the native beat each other up, and the police and magistrates do not know which way to turn when faced with the astonishing waves of crime in North Africa. We shall see later how this...
Yo, I told you, when I be seeing stuff, like, this stuff just pop in my mind, like what I already read. He just told you, there's going to be a time when we start fighting amongst each other, and the police, the people in power are going to be looking like they don't know which way to go, which side to take. Yo, if you see that press conference that I'm going to play, yo, it wasn't no white people that went and challenged the brother that was on in Madison speaking, Carlos. It wasn't any white people. It wasn't the police. It was another black person that was there working, trying to listen to what the police was saying, wanted to hear what the politicians were saying, because to them that's the law, that's authority. The people are not authority. The law is the authority, and that's what they were there to. That's what they were there to hear. They were not there to hear him. I mean, and they even said it. The black guy that stood up and started going back and forth with him even said, "You don't speak for me. You don't speak for me." Like I said, it's a class struggle. And most of us don't understand that we are in a class struggle. Most of us believe it's just a racial thing. We just on the surface of it. We shallow. I mean, we just know what we've been told in school through their institutions, what they've brainwashed us to believe, that it's all a racial thing. It's all about race. It's all about race. It's all about gender. It's all kind of things that they put in our minds while they run away with the loot. The same thing they did in Africa. Went out there with trinkets and ran with the loot, left with the gold, the diamonds, the oil, everything. And them Negroes over there are fighting for flags, fighting to come over here to America.
Phenomenon should be judged. When the native is confronted with the colonial order of things, he finds he is in a state of permanent tension. The settler's world is a hostile world, which spurns the native. But at the same time, it is a world of which he is envious. We have seen that the native never ceases to dream of putting himself in the place of the settler, not of becoming the settler, but of substituting himself for the settler. This hostile world, ponderous and aggressive because it fends off the colonized masses with all...
I'm not going to just skip that. And if somebody want to chime in, we could chime in. When you hear something, you want to say something, say something. You see something, hear something, say something. Yo, what he just said just now, let me bring that back a little bit. Because, like, this is deep.
So, for the settler. This, it is a world of which he is envious. We have seen that the native never ceases to dream of putting himself to be judged. When the native is confronted with the colonial order of things, he finds he is in a state of permanent tension. The settler's world is a hostile world, which spurns the native. But at the same time, it is a world of which he is envious. We have seen that the native never ceases to dream of putting himself in the place of the settler, not of becoming the settler, but of substituting himself for the settler. This hostile world, ponderous and aggressive because it fends off the colonized masses with all the harshness it is capable of, represents not merely a hell from which the swiftest flight possible is desirable, but also a paradise close at hand, which is guarded by terrible watchdogs. The native is always on the alert, for since he can only make out with difficulty...
Is somebody trying to say something? I heard the echo.
The many symbols of the colonial world, he is never sure whether or not he has crossed the frontier. Confronted with a world ruled by the settler, the native is always presumed guilty. But the native's guilt is never a guilt which he accepts. It is rather a kind of curse, a sword of Damocles, for in his innermost spirit, the native admits no accusation. He is overpowered but not tamed. He is treated as an inferior, but he is not convinced of his inferiority. He is patiently waiting until the settler is off his guard to fly at him. The native's muscles are always tense. You can't say that he is terrorized or even apprehensive. He is in fact ready at a moment's notice to exchange the role of the quarry for that of the hunter. The native is an oppressed person whose permanent dream is to become the persecutor. The symbols of the social order, the police, the bugle calls in the barracks, military parades, and the waving flags are at one and the same time inhibitory and stimulating. For they do not convey the message, don't dare to budge. Rather, they cry out, get ready to attack. And in fact, if the native had any tendency to fall asleep and forget, the settler's hauteur and the settler's anxiety to test the strength of the colonial system would remind him at every turn that the great showdown cannot be put off indefinitely. That impulse to take the settler's place implies a tonicity of muscles the whole time. And in fact,
most people don't want to get rid of capitalism, imperialism. Most people don't want to get rid of the system. They want to be the one at the top of the system. When we talk about organizing, that's what it's telling you right here. The intellectuals, the athletes, the celebrities, whoever, these people that they give all this money to, the one that they platform to speak for us. These people do not want change, because if change happens, they're no longer wealthy. They no longer look down at us. Like, that's how they see it in their mind. They are a different species from us. They exist because we suffer. They're not trying to undo none of that. They have made up their mind. When we go around here and say we're going to go organize and go work with every black person or go work with everybody, you can be in solidarity with everybody. When these people are in organizations that are formed to be able to oppress you, like the NAACP, the Urban League, all these different organizations that's funded by the same money that's destroying our communities. They're not here to negotiate and listen to you. They want to be the council person. They want to be the mayor, to be the chief administrator of our suffering, the seamstress to our suffering. That's what they want to be. And that's what Fanon is explaining right here. When you're going out here and say you're organizing, you're about to go do all this work, you need to understand the people that you're dealing with. There is no negotiation. There is no talking about we're going to see the evidence and we're going to see if he had a knife in his hand, if he cut the police officer. Like, don't nobody want to hear none of that. If the police roll up and I just shot somebody, they're not asking me no questions. They're locking me up and they're letting the system sort it out. Ain't no conversation with me. They're not talking to me. I get to go home. I just shot somebody in the face. I just go home. That's not how it works. Materially, in the real world, outside, when we say we deal with the real world, that's not how none of this works. You don't just leave. The police don't come up there and start speaking for me, talking nice for me, humanizing me. They don't do that. They come out, they talk about every bad thing I ever did, the worst thing they ever called me, whatever. They lay it out. And they make it seem like I'm the worst person that ever lived, so they could get me locked up. They could send me away, and they could use me as free labor. But when it comes to the police, they do all this talking. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to negotiate with people that want to be the ones that are oppressing you. They're not looking to overthrow the system. You can't have no conversations with them. We don't do nothing with the government, with the city officials. We don't do nothing. We don't do no organizing, no nothing with them. They are like cops to me. None of those people can be part of anything we're doing. In fact, we have to build outside of what they're doing. I'm talking about the NAACP, the Urban League, not just the police themselves. Those people.
We know that in certain emotional conditions, the presence of an obstacle accentuates the tendency toward motion. The settler-native relationship is a mass relationship. The settler pits brute force against the weight of numbers. He is an exhibitionist. His preoccupation with security makes him remind the native out loud that there, he alone is master. The settler keeps alive in the native an anger which he deprives of outlet. The native is trapped in the tight links of the chains of colonialism. But we have seen that inwardly the settler can only achieve a pseudo-petrification. The native's muscular tension finds outlet regularly in bloodthirsty explosions, in tribal warfare, in feuds between septs, and in quarrels between individuals. Where individuals are concerned, a positive negation of common sense is evident. While the settler or the policeman has the right the livelong day to strike the native, to insult him, and to make him crawl to them, you will see the native reaching for his knife at the slightest hostile or aggressive glance cast on him by another native.
Hell, when you see the video, when I walked up and the police had grabbed that brother, I didn't even know what they did to him. But everybody else was just sitting there, not saying nothing, not doing nothing. Imagine if I had walked up and just grabbed somebody and threw them on the ground like that. You think they wouldn't say nothing to me? They would jump up. Like, where you from? You ain't from around here. How you gonna just come over here and just grab something? Like, they would have jumped up. I probably wouldn't have made out that hood with my life if I just walked up and grabbed somebody. But he's telling you right here. Fanon is telling you. But we are so afraid of the system that these people can come in there and brutalize us. This is this zone he's talking about. This is the zone where the people are not ready for, like, the atmosphere is not ready for a revolution. Like right now, the atmosphere is not ready for a revolution. It is our duty to create that atmosphere as organizers, as revolutionaries. It is our duty to create that atmosphere. How do you create that atmosphere? By educating the people, by highlighting the contradictions and showing people they're not supposed to move like this. Why are you just sitting there and this dude just jump out the car and just grab somebody that you know and just threw him on the floor and started for nothing? Put the cuffs on him, brutalize him, throw him inside the car. You just sitting there watching. When I walked up with the camera, bruh asked me, like, what are you doing with the camera? What are you doing just sitting there? And I don't want to, like, talk down on him because he don't know what I know. He hasn't studied, revolutionary thinkers, luminaries, whatever, however you want to call them. He hasn't done that. He doesn't. I doubt he read Fanon Wretched of the Earth. So he doesn't understand what I understand. He doesn't see what I see. We're living in two different worlds. So when I walk up, like Fanon just said, and the police brutalizing dude, all he worried about is me. He got more energy about me than what the police that's not even from the community, that don't even look like him, nothing. He's not saying. He's just sitting there watching them brutalize him. After this, I'm gonna bring that video so you can see it for yourself.
Is evident. While the settler or the policeman has the right the livelong day to strike the native, to insult him, and to make him crawl to them, you will see the native reaching for his knife at the slightest hostile or aggressive glance cast on him by another native. For the last resort of the native is to defend his personality vis-a-vis his brother. Tribal feuds only serve to perpetuate old grudges buried deep in the memory. By throwing himself with all his force into the vendetta, the native tries to persuade himself that colonialism does not exist, that everything is going on as before, that history continues. Here, on the level of communal organizations, we clearly discern the well-known behavior patterns of avoidance. It is as if plunging into a fraternal bloodbath allowed them to ignore the obstacle and to put off till later the choice, nevertheless inevitable, which opens up the question of armed resistance to colonialism. Thus, collective autodestruction in a very concrete form is one of the ways in which natives' muscular tension is set free. All these patterns of conduct are those of the death reflex when faced with danger. A suicidal behavior which proves to the settler, whose existence and domination is by them all the more justified, that these men are not reasonable human beings. In the same way the native manages to bypass the settler. A belief in fatality removes all blame from the oppressor. The cause of misfortunes and of poverty is attributed to God. He is fate. In this way, the individual accepts the disintegration ordained by God, bows down before the settler and his lot, and by a kind of interior restabilization acquires a stony calm.
Yo, that's deep. That's deep. See, before this, like the first one when we listened to, and he was talking about how everything in society, like schools, going to work, when you done after 50 years, whatever, 60 years, they give you a watch. I mean, talking about you did a good job, whatever, as a worker. All these little subtle things in society, the holidays, all this stuff that we celebrate. Yo, it serves as a tool to take away our power, to make us think everything is supposed to be the way it is. All these institutions in our lives, all these holidays that we're celebrating, as if we're not dealing with oppression. People are not exploiting us every single day of our life. We're not catching hell. Like all of this stuff is supposed to be just normal. This is the way it is. This is how it's always been. This is how it's going to always be. That's what all these things serves to be, and that's what he's talking about. The church. The church. This is how it was ordained to be. The church tell you to just go home and pray. Let me show you this real quick. Let me see. Right. Let me see. Where is it at? Yeah, I don't think this was captured from when I was walking up. I mean, but that's okay. Let's move on. No, like when we saying, like, what is the church doing? What is the NAACP doing? When we talk about the issues in our community right now, what we're dealing with, most people think we are not organized. That black people are not organized. They don't recognize that there's a group, there's a class of black people that are well organized. I'm talking about they got clubs, they got sororities, they got fraternities, they got all these secret societies that they belong to. Black people, all black people. See, people don't think that. People don't even think about that. I'm talking about where they throw these lavish events, where they all go and they give money, they support each other, they help each other through the world, through this exploitative world that we all live in that's choking the life out of us. They are all organized and they work together and they push each other in these spaces while the rest of us suffer from the laws that they pass, from the ideas and solutions that they push on the people. This dude right here, what's his name up here? Amos C. Brown. He been around since the 70s. He was a pastor, NAACP. I think he leaving the church now. He's so old, he probably senile now. So now they're finally pushing him out, and they were giving him an award. This is what they're doing. They give each other awards while the people are being shot in the face on the streets. People being thrown in the streets, homeless. This is what they do. They come, they have their little meetings, and while they was having the meeting, this dude want to talk about Reverend Wright. He want to talk about Wright. Like, he came up there to get his award, but the most important thing to him is not the condition of black people being the worst it's ever been in this country. That's not what he's talking about. That's not what he went up there that what really got him mad. You know what got him upset? I'm going to let you listen to him tell it his damn self.
Over, Brother Jeremiah, we're going to go down on a high note because Amos Brown agitated. But Jeremiah Wright, is that all right?
He's agitating for Jeremiah Wright. He do it to him. This is revolutionary work. That's what Fanon was talking about. These churches, look at them. Look at this. Look at them. You see how they all come together? They're well organized to do all of this, throw all of these shindigs, all that money in the room, while our people suffer. And they don't care nothing about the people. You go to them for solutions of the conditions that people are dealing with, they tell you to go vote for somebody to support that's going to come in there and work with the landlords to throw everybody into the streets. That's going to come in there and control the police and have the police brutalizing the natives. This is what we're dealing with in reality. This is dumb. This is a few days ago. Was it July 23rd, 10:34 a.m., whatever, Chicago, Illinois? This dude right here punched me in the face. That's his page. Make it plain. Mark Thompson. This dude right here, he punched me in the face. You know why he punched me in the face? Because they had a meeting in Newark, New Jersey, talking about gentrification. But none of them was talking about gentrification. None of them was talking about the people in Newark. So I asked him to interview him. And when he came on the side for me to interview him, I asked him how come when he go on MSNBC, go on all these spaces, he never talk about the stuff we dealing with in our communities. We don't care about no Russia. Don't nobody in the hood worried about, ain't nobody in the hood worried about no Russia. We worried about food. We worried about the poison water we drinking, the horrible education, why we got to work 3-4 jobs, not to even to be able to afford to live here. These are the stuff that we dealing with. That's what we just heard Fanon say. These are the things, the bread, the land, the bread, land, bread. That's what the people, the natives are worried about. They're not worrying about none of this goofy stuff, museums, throwing themselves parties, all this old wrinkle used up Uncle Toms, like promoting these people. That's not what the mass of the people are talking about, what they're thinking about. But this is what they do. This is what the NAACP do. They play. Talk to him.
Many of us don't know he comes from good stock. His grandfather was the president of Virginia Union.
Yeah, that? They come from good stock. Father was the president of Virginia Union. My mother worked at at a nursing home, cleaning people doodle. I don't have good stock. I mean, to them, I don't have good stock. My stock ain't good enough. Because my mother worked 16 hours a day, making like $6, $7 an hour, trying to put a roof over our heads. She wasn't the president of Virginia Union. But because his father, he come from good stock. See the classism seeping through? All you got to do is just listen to them. And this is what he want to be remembered for. He want to be remembered for helping Obama become president. And he mad because Obama didn't mention him. But
University. And his father pastored the Great Grace Baptist Church of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That was a network of the liberation preachers. That was a network of those.
You heard them? Liberation preachers. Yo, these are the people that Fanon was talking about. Look at them. This old, crusty, half dead. Look at them. Their whole lives, they spent their whole lives lying to our people, exploiting our people, exploiting our poverty, our suffering. And now on their dying beds, they want to be remembered, not by the people, they want to be remembered by white supremacy. They want to be remembered by the government of America. That's who these Uncle Toms are loyal to.
Who taught how to live every day of the week, and not just to call on God's grace only on Sunday. Brother Jeremiah, we thank you. And you may rest assured that the NAACP knows what you've done.
Where these Negroes at when people are being thrown into the streets with all the money and all the stuff that where they at? We got to go try to find people a place to stay. We got to try to raise money to keep people in their homes. Where are they at when we shot in the streets? You ever see any of them come and say we're going to build institutions to help our people? We're going to build institutions to serve our people. They come to get nonprofit money. They go get nonprofit money and they come in there and say they're changing the conditions. They do gun buybacks. They paint the street gay and they start doing whatever. And they say like they're bringing culture. They have people twerking, singing outside. Somebody died, they come with their incense and blame the community for the poverty, for everything in the community, saying the people are the problem. They never target imperialism. Even here, he's not talking about imperialism. He's going to talk about Obama. Let me skip this, man. I don't even like watching them. But you get the gist. Look at them. Look at these people. Look at them. See, they plan. This costs money. They plan and have this event where they all come there to come honor this. Oh, man.
No. The other thing I must share with you is I was always taught that when you go to a city, you first discover who's in charge there. And you give respect to them. Beloved, this is family talk here tonight.
This dirty, filthy, nasty Uncle Thompson and sellout. Family. This is family talk. Yo, they take our culture and they wrap themselves with it. They cloak themselves in it. They act like anything they're doing is African or from the black tradition. Nothing they doing is from the black tradition. Absolutely nothing that they have done their entire life is from the black tradition. Before this, we read the Miseducation of a Negro. And Carter G. Woodson was talking about these preachers, the first real intellectuals in our community that went around telling the people lies for incrementalism, getting them to believe in different religious organizations. Instead of fighting for liberation, these people were going around building churches, fighting about God, gang banging about who believe in God more, who God was better. That's what these Uncle Toms was doing. Our old history being here. They've not organized to build institutions, our own institutions. I'm not saying some white person come give these clowns money and they build a school teaching Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. I'm not talking about those kinds of institutions. I'm talking about build institutions that are telling our people that we are not free in this land, that this is not our home, that we are not Americans. You cannot be an American and you sitting outside your house, the police run up, grab you, and slam you to the floor. You cannot call yourself a citizen of any place like that where you have no rights that they're bound to respect. They put that in law. They wrote that. What was that, in 18-something? Dred V. Scott, or whatever it was, the Judge Taney, whatever his name was, that the Negro, nigga, you have no rights that this court, this system is bound to uphold, stupid. And it's 2026, you still don't understand that. There's nothing to negotiate here. We have to remove these people, these bootleg, fake black people out of the way, these scammers. And we have to make our own reality, create our own institutions. That is the only, that's where we at. I want to let them hurry up and finish talking.
Who don't look like us, you can put your... I didn't get up on this stump by myself also, and significantly so. By staying to myself as a rugged individualist. I hung out with, I chilled with, and I kicked it with other prophets and prophetess. And there is one prophet who resides in Chicago, the Windy City, resides in Chicago, who has been overlooked, not acknowledged, that all of us live off of unearned increments. None of us got where we are just by ourselves. And beloved, I'm going to say something here. I just don't understand how a certain center was built on the south side of Chicago. And not one time did it come out of the mouths of Brother Barack Obama the fact that he was a member of the Trinity United Church of Christ.
That's what they're mad about. Look at him. Look how mad he is. Look how upset he is.
Profit, Profit. You gotta get the right. You gotta first. You gotta get the right prophet right. Second,
how mad he is, yo.
if Barack Obama throwing Reverend Jeremiah Wright under the bus, and then Michelle Obama came back through with a book that just drove all over his legacy, right? Just shitted all over the man after his death, wasn't indication enough that this man was a white man from Hawaii that just happened to have a black father from Nigeria who went to Howard. He was an elitist all the way through and through. He was using y'all, man. They sound like some scorned women. He used y'all. Get over it, sir.
No, but
he used you like you use your pulpit to enrich yourself. He hustled you.
Yo,
they understand the hustle. They do it every Sunday.
Hey, yo, he wants to be honored amongst thieves, man. He wants there to be honor amongst them, like that they're supposed to take care of each other. Look at him, he pissed. Yo, that Amos Cleophas, yo, his name is Cleophilus. Amos Cleophilus Brown is an African-American pastor and civil rights activist. He's the president of the San Francisco branch of the NAACP. He's the president of the NAACP. That's why they're giving him an award. And was the pastor of the Third Baptist Church of San Francisco from 1976 through 2025. This is what he did every day of his life. Brainwashing black people, lying to black people, pushing the worst ideas and philosophies in our community. That's what he did from 1976, before I was born, until 2025. Brown was one of only 8 students who took the only college class ever taught by Martin Luther King. That's him. You know, he come from good stock. Martin Luther King taught him. He serves on the board of the California Reparation Task Force. You see why I tell y'all not getting no reparation? He sits on the board. These are the people that they put to sit on the board to go get me money, to go get you money. You think you're going to get some money? You a whole idiot. Let me keep reading here. Let me go. Let me see. Where should I go? Early life. Brown was born in Jacksonville, Mississippi in 1941. His great-grandfather was born slave in Franklin County, Mississippi. Good stock. Brown's father worked as a rural church pastor and janitor. In 1955, Brown organized the NAACP's first youth council. He first met Martin Luther King at the 1956 NAACP National Convention in San Francisco, which he attended at the invitation of Medgar Evers. Good stock. He's dropping all of that. In 1959, Brown criticized segregated schools. Yeah, he criticized segregated schools because our only thing that we could do is go to school with these people. How dare us not go to school with them? How dare us not sit on their buses? Not building their own communities, not building their own infrastructure, their own institutions. These boot-licking sellouts use their whole entire life to try to convince the people that put money in their pockets, the corporations that line their pockets, that they can control us, that they can tell us all these useless ideas like body cameras are going to solve anything in our community. These people make my stomach turn. What is the celebrity class talking about? So last week we talked about Memphis Bleak here. We talked about how Memphis Bleak said nobody knew how to get money before Hove. Before Hove, we was picking boogers out our nose and was putting it on cameras. Nobody knew about going to get money. There was no Slick Rick. There was no other rappers. There was nobody here. All the rappers, every rapper, Kumo D, anybody you could think about, all they talk about is money. But we ain't never hear about money till Hove came around. We didn't know how to boss up before Hove. That's what he was saying. So he got a lot of heat on social media. So you know what he did? He went and got one of these fake activists, one of these fake celebrities, to come on his show and talk about another fake activist. Because we don't get no platform. We don't get to speak. They are the superheroes. They are the good blacks from good stock. Listen to the question he asked my son, a fake activist.
How you feel about the Kaepernick slander that they give Jay with dealing with the NFL?
Let me give.
This is what he's worrying about. Out of everything to be worried about as a black person, this is what they sit and talk about.
No, as an activist, this is what he put his credibility, whatever the heck, reputation on, Jay-Z, because he gets money from Jay-Z.
Yeah, so he was part of, I heard all of them goofy stuff, most likely, allegedly.
Like all these people are together, and once you're not in their circle, I don't like. You saw them old people was coming at Obama. This is them now coming at Kaepernick. Yo, I don't believe Kaepernick is a revolutionary. Kaepernick has done nothing that's revolutionary. Nothing. He took a knee. He did whatever he did. They punished him. They told him, you can't work at our job if you're going to be taking knees, Negro. And he got upset, and he tried to sue them, and he went around. He signed a deal. He got money doing what, I don't know what he's doing, but he is not in the hood building no institutions to liberate anybody. I mean, so he's a fraud himself. But these are all frauds talking about himself. So while we're dealing with the conditions in our community, this is what they're talking about. Remember what Fanon said. Fanon said our issues in our community, all we care about is food, is house, is land, being able to survive. Listen to what this goof troop is talking about.
My perspective from the inside. When the whole Kaepernick thing first started, my organization was one of the first organizations to protest with Kaepernick.
His organization, was the first. We all protested with Kaepernick. But his organization, because their platform, their pays, they pay them money for them to be able to do little podcasts and all kinds of stuff and go out there. They pay them to fly them out there. They get money from all these fake government agencies. So now his organization was one of the first one to be out there.
And peep the hat, because it says stop black murder, right?
Yeah.
He's one of those black on black crime
people,
clowns.
Yeah.
That's why he got that stupid hat on.
I mean, like everything about them is stunt. Everything about them is cosplay. But he's gonna say his organizer was the one that spearheaded it. Was in the forefront. He was on the front lines. He's gonna say that. Done nothing, do nothing, just go around acting like an activist. But listen to him.
We went to the NFL, had a big protest outside the NFL downtown. We was at the headquarters. Like we spearheaded all of that. We was on emails with Kaepernick. Like I was frontline. I'm with Cat T-shirts. We trying to boycott this and that. I see Jay come in. He got the Kaepernick jersey. He front and center with it.
So what they're really trying to do? So they're coming over there supporting. They're trying to get what they could get from the NFL. They're trying to get what they could get out of the deal. Hey, yo, Cap, we helping you. We out here, whatever, this, that, and third. Like they're trying to finagle their way in there. They're not in there trying to fight for black liberation. You in the front line. What you in the front lines for? You in the front lines to save his job, to get him a job back in the NFL? Who you fighting for? Because what is the cause? Why you are there? You're there because they're killing people, brutalizing people in the streets, brutalizing us, because we are the truth. The people are the truth. Our very existence is the truth of what's going on. You're not living the life we live in. You done sold your soul so you could go get that bread. He came out of prison, then became this fake activist running around. I'm thinking like, dude, really telling the truth. Because as Panthers, we cast a wide net and try to find these people. I mean, like, people be talking that revolutionary talk. But it's all for show. They're using it to go get that bread, to go get paid. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, this is Karima. I think my son might be getting some money from North, too, because I know he be at...
They are.
Yes, okay, I thought so.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
Him and Tamika Mallory owns a nonprofit called Until Freedom, and they're one of the friends and family plan when it comes to these fake nonprofits in North. They get a lot of money from us, yes.
Yeah, they all getting money. Why the people starving? Yo, what you call it? Al Sharpton, National Action Network, is getting money from North, from the housing. I don't know how he's getting money from the housing, but he's getting money from these developers that come in. Yo, I saw his name over there with Reentry, National Action Network. They connected that with Reentry program. These people are devious, psychopath. When me and the mayor got into it, I don't know what it was. I don't know why, and why we had to speak somewhere. I don't know what caused that meeting with me and the mayor. I can't remember. But the mayor brought him from...
Man, you remember my son. I mean, I'm sorry, you remember my... you and the Reverend, man. You and the Reverend.
Okay, yeah. I do remember. It was the Reverend. You're right. But every so much, me and the mayor go at it so much. But it was the Reverend. Because, thank you for reminding me. So when the Reverend hooked off on me at the gentrification event, the mayor was trying to save his job. Mike San, Talib Kweli, all these people were trying to save Mark Thompson's job. So the mayor called me in like, yo, could you come in? We want to sit down and see if we could come to a reasonable whatever. So I came in, like, I'm not trying to make money. I'm not going to go sue Mark Thompson. I'm not going to use their courts to go try to take some money from. I don't move like that. I told myself, like, you know what? Just show up and show that you're not here to beef with them, that the issue is bigger than them. That is basically organizing and working within the community as we've been doing. That's the real issue. So I showed up for that. He brought this bubble lip Negro. And he came in there. I don't remember what he was talking about. He gave me his telephone number. I don't know if he thought I was going to impress me and stuff. But like after that, I kept roasting him. Every time I saw him doing some clown stuff, I roast him. I mean, he blocked me. They called me the biggest hater. They say I'm the biggest hater of their organization because y'all frauds. And if I am the biggest hater, I'm happy about that. Y'all frauds. Y'all here poverty pimping and exploiting the people. I think he's a millionaire now. He wasn't a millionaire when he came out of jail, but he got contracts with the city. Mandani done brought him in. All these different people done brought them in and started giving them money for them to go out and like Novocaine and soothe our pain, paint the street gay and tell us like that's liberation. Go paint the street gay, go outside and talk. Because all you do is talk and then walk up and down the street talking about black murder, black men, stop killing black men. There are no institutions in the community. They build no institutions. They build no schools. They build no economic centers. They do absolutely nothing for the people. But walk around like they're the real revolutionaries. These people, like, I'm telling you, the only thing you could do after knowing these people is just despise them. Because you see them for what they are. Like, they don't talk about, this is not what they're talking about. This is not what they're talking about. How is that not murder? How is that not a lynching? You don't need to throw a rope up on the tree and hang somebody. Look at him after he shot him. That person looked like look at him. He looked bothered to you. He looked like, oh my God, I can't believe I just took a human being's life. Does he look like that to you? This is another day at work. Just look at him. This is another day at work. And what they grabbed him for? Madison, VA, a man in his 30s died after a police officer shot him during an altercation on Madison near East Side Wednesday afternoon. This is how the newspapers, the media outlets, this is how they reported it. Not a lynching. That's not what I would have said. 4 police officers lynched a man in broad daylight for absolutely nothing. The call that came in was somebody was looking at cars, like trying to get inside, and they was riding a bike. So they see somebody outside riding a bike, allegedly tackled him off his bicycle. So if they tackle him off his bicycle, what you supposed to be doing? You riding your bike. You just riding your bike and they tackle you off your, what you think, you going to just lay there, put your hand behind your back, you're going to go ahead, yeah, yo, stomp me out. He's fighting like, what is going on? Well, not fighting. He's like trying to like stand up. And look at them. Nah, watch it again. Watch it again. Look at him. Look at this. Look, they got his hand. He said he got a knife. He had a knife. That's why he shot him. They were holding both his hands. He dropped down right there to get up. All you look, he's holding his hand right there. The pig said he had a knife. He cut him with the knife, and that's why he shot him. Look at this. When did he get a chance to pull out a knife and do it? Bro is holding his hand the whole time. They are holding his hand. He's holding his hand. He got up. Look at that. Look at that, son. How you say that's not a lynching? And you get up the next day and you go to work and you act like everything is okay. You see this after one after the other, over and over and over, and you could just get up the next day and go to work, go talk to your family, pick up the telephone, talk, watch TV, go watch Netflix. Everything is just normal to you, and you're watching people get lynched, broad daylight. Broad daylight for what? What they take his life for? And then bend down and cuff him. There's no CPR. There's no trying to see if he's alive. Just bend down and cuff him. This is the world we live in. This is the material reality that we live in. This is the society. I don't live in a democracy. I mean, I understand that. I understand this is the world I live in. This is what they do in my community. I just showed you them jumping out trying to do this too. Because if he fought back, the dude, if he tried to affirm his humanity and try to stand up and fight back, they probably would have killed him too. And everybody would just be sitting there looking. Yo, all of us not the same. And our duty is to go out. As Panthers, our duty is to go out and find these people. And find people that are like us. People that are tired of this system and want to change the system from the bottom up. That's what we learn. That's what we go to political education classes for and study and learn. And understand about intercommunalism. You can't go everywhere and liberate everybody. We have to organize from community to community. What I'm doing in Newark, somebody should be doing it in Madison. Somebody should be doing it in Milwaukee. Somebody should be doing that in Cleveland, California, everywhere. And then we all come together and work intercommunally to be able to survive imperialism. That's how you put a dent in these people. That's how you strike a blow. Not by going to vote, not by going to march begging these people to do anything. They will do absolutely nothing. Because as you see at the press conference, you're going to see they're going to say absolutely nothing if we do have them talking here. Because we try not to platform these people. I mean, we try not to platform anything they're saying. But this is the brother that we're going to have on here. I want you to listen to him. This is a brief. See, with me, if I want to know somebody, I try to understand who they are, their life, where they come from, how they grew up. That starts to give me an understanding of who the person is. In sociology, it's called sociological imagination. Because I add all of that together, and I'm able to get an understanding of who that person is. So this is who this brother is before I bring him on.
I've been a prisoner of this system my entire life. I entered Child Protective Services when I was 1 year old. I spent the first 12 years of my life in the foster care system. During the year 2000, I was in 8 or 9 foster homes in 1 year. I left the foster care system at 12 years old and went into a residential treatment facility. That's right, a group home, until I was 18 years old. I was emancipated from the state of Illinois at 21 years old. Since 21 years old, I've been chronically homeless. I'm 39 years old now. And maybe 9 months ago, I almost died a reactionary suicide. That's right. Capitalism was beating my ass. Eviction notice after eviction notice. Utility bill went up to $375 for 3 months straight. Disconnection notices were coming in. And at one point, I had a plan to take my bed sheets and tie it over a doorknob and let it drape over the other side and take a seat. But only through the support of the collective did I emerge from that event a revolutionary. And since that day, I've chosen to organize, educate, and fight for liberation every waking second. I don't do anything else now but organize. So please don't conflate reactionary with revolutionary, ever.
Yeah, that's Carlos Lamar Dixon.
All power to the people.
Yeah, all power to the people. That's Carlos Lamar Dixon. Yeah, you there, brother Carlos?
Yes,
Is your
indeed.
mic on?
I heard you. You can speak. Speak a little bit louder, please.
Yeah, it's real low.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah, don't come up here to get scared now. You done took the mic from who was that? The chief of police? Don't come up here and be all quiet on us now, man. I need that voice. I need that same energy. Can you get it right? While he's working on his audio, let me see. I'm going to play this real quick. So if you haven't seen it, this will be your first time seeing it.
Stop talking, because we don't want to hear anything you've been saying. You're going to say the same things you all say every time a black body gets shot down in this city. This is a corrupt city. That's right. No fear.
All right, so before this, the mayor and I guess that the chief of police, the mayor went on and spoke, and you know what they basically say. They got to go through the investigation. The police responded to what they said was somebody trying to break into cars, and they saw there was contact with the brother that they killed. I mean, he had a knife on him, and they're going to go through the investigation. So the police chief came on saying the same nonsense, and when he came on started talking, Brother Carlos jumped up, like basically like we done with you talking. And now I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Yeah, we, as Panthers, us, Panthers of New Jersey, yo, there's nothing that the police can say that we listen to. We don't respect them. We don't respect their authority. They shouldn't be speaking at all. That's how we feel. There's nothing to talk about. There is nothing that the police are going to say at a press conference other than, yo, he's been locked up. I mean, his charges are already coming. If that's not what you're saying, that person is already locked up, that charges are already coming, that you're taking their life away like you usually do ours, we don't want to talk about nothing. So all of this right here, I'm in agreement with.
The anti-Zionists is here. You understand me? You won't be able to talk today because I'm going to keep talking because I was born to talk my talk and walk my walk too. I told these young people back here on our way here that we have the power, not that badge, not that weapon. We have the power. The city of Madison is corrupt. From the DA to the what's the name of this? The Department of Independent Monitoring. We don't want any of that talk. You giving us this speech with you'll deliver justice.
So from what I'm seeing, are you there, Carlos?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me now, or how is it?
No. You great. You're great. Yo, this is the brother Carlos right here, man. All power to the people, Carlos. How you doing, brother?
Yes, indeed. Peace, love, and power to you, Chairman Africa. I'm good.
Yo, you know what? Could you tell us how you got to how you found out about this event and how you got there in the your organization?
Well, I live in Milwaukee, which is about, I want to say 70-odd miles east of Madison, Wisconsin. Wanted to get there that night that that police officer, that pig, murdered that young man, but I ended up getting there, got on a bus. Again, being a revolutionary doesn't come with friends. So, when we talk like this, the community, like you say, we dealing with this infestation of the nonprofit industrial complex. So they don't like that because when we start telling the truth, that affects their income. You understand? So got to Madison. I came out there and the plan was to, try to escalate things in a way that would apply the pressure. Use my, charisma and my communication skills to gather pure strangers, to come together. We ended up getting maybe 50 of us walked into that building. We walked about a mile down there. It was impromptu. Somebody came and was like, hey, they having a press conference or the chief is giving a speech down the street. So we gathered up people and we marched down there. And the plan was to not let them talk. We understood that if they create the narrative, they can continue to lure us in with this cultural hegemony. With like you say, they use the media to form our beliefs, to form our opinions, like Santa Claus or something. They want us to keep believing in the colonial Santa Claus. And walking down there, we're like, hey, not gonna let them talk.
What's the name of your organization?
APTAP, all power to all people.
All power to the people. All power to the people. Nah, but when you came to, like I said earlier, because I've been in these circumstances a lot, and when you leave your house, like let's say you left Milwaukee to go down there, and you going down to go support, to go make sure the message from the people is delivered. You didn't know you were going to be standing in this room with this officer. You didn't know this was the space, this was how it was going to go, but you went in there. And you affirmed your humanity. You took that mic and you said they're not going to speak. You see, when you say the power is in us, the power is in the people, I told these young people when we came down here that the power is in us. Most people don't really understand that because they don't understand everything that chief of police is doing, that the mayor is doing is a facade. They have fake power. They're not really, they have weapons, they have guns, but that power right there is not the power of the people. They have not been put in those positions by the masses of the people. And the power is always in the masses of the people because it's so little of them. These people that work, how many people you really think work at City Hall? How many people you really think work at the police station? These people, these numbers are minuscule to the masses of people. And they understand that. And they cower when they see the people come up. Before, I'm going to let you speak a little bit on the video, and then I'm going to let you come back in to explain whatever. And anybody got some questions for the brother, you could chime in whatever and ask him whatever questions you have. Because he just came here. We're going to have a conversation with him and try to see how we could build and organize with the brother. Because from what I've been listening, you say, from what I saw you doing, bro, these are the people that Miles told us to go organize. Yo, Mao Zedong said go in the rice paddies, go in the villages, go where the people are at, where the people are suffering at. And I saw you did a video and they had lumpen proletariat. Go in those spaces with the lumpens and go organize those people because they have nothing to lose. Yo, we just watched his video. He told you his brief life. He just went through it and told you basically his life from when he was 1 year old until now. I mean, he's the definition of the lumpen proletariat. He's the definition of power. Let me play it and you come back and say what you got to say because he is the truth.
Oh, we've seen the cameras. We've seen it was a knife in this young man's head. We don't want to hear that today. We didn't want to hear it when they put that neck on George Floyd's neck. We don't put on George Floyd's neck, and we don't want to hear it today. What do you have to say about that?
No, nothing.
Go ahead.
I'll step aside. And
give him this microphone then. Excuse me. That's right.
Step aside.
I represent APTAP. All power to all people. Zero power to Zionists. Zero power to capitalists. Zero power to colonialism. What you are doing right now in this city is continuing the disgusting nature of colonialism, the disgusting nature of imperialism. Look up the definition.
And let me explain something to y'all real quick. To have the courage to be able to go out there to speak to the cameras, to speak in this room with political officials, public officials. Yo, this ain't no easy thing. Most people are scared to even speak on their iPhone. To go in that room and take that microphone, none of this is pre-rehearsed. It's written down. He don't have no ghostwriters. All of this is coming off the dome. I don't think Biden could have done this. I don't think you could even bring Trump in a place like this and he would be able to like hit all the points that he's hitting. Because I listened to it. I listened to everything he said. I mean, like, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna listen to what he's saying.
Of imperialism, it's all within the policies, which means when these police officers come down on the street and they decide that they want to take the life of another brown body, there is no oversight for that. That's imperialism, lady.
Imperialism. The exploitations in our community. The police are only there to serve those in power, those in position of power, the wealthy. That's why they're there. And when they brutalize and kill any one of us, they're not held accountable because they're doing what the imperialists want them to do.
Chairman, I have a question for the brother Carlos.
Go ahead.
We as Panthers, we do a lot of political education, and from the words you're saying, it seems like you've been politically educated. Where did you get your political education from?
Hey, Carlos, before you even answer that, how long has it been since you started getting this knowledge about liberation?
So, you know, when those are really good questions too. When I was I came up in an African American like strong school. They gave us more of the, you know, neoliberal civil rights leaders, which is still cool with me because I feel like those leaders walked so we can run today. It's been early on I understood things like the Underground Railroad, Thurgood Marshall, like civil rights leaders, Langston Hughes, the Renaissance, the Black Renaissance in Harlem, all of those things. But then I think, oh man, it was just a crazy mashup of information. I started getting into like Egyptian and African, you know, studies when I was maybe 17, just from an old school teacher. No academic stuff. I started to read the manifesto. I think that was maybe 12 years ago now where I started that, maybe even later than that. But my mentor who took me in when I was facing chronic homelessness here in Milwaukee, he was an ex-member of the Black Panther, not even ex-member, he's a Black Panther, let's just say it like that. You know, he's one of those, he don't like the spotlight. He understands that surveillance is crazy, and they use that to attack you. So he's taken, the 10-point program of the Black Panther Party, and he's using it within his home and building community that way. So, he put me on to, the George Jackson's, Huey P. Newton, Revolutionary Suicide. I dug into that book, again, maybe 12 years ago to this day type stuff. Other than that, it's been it's funny because, the lumpen proletariat, we really don't have the language. We know exactly what's going on. Like, they like to say, hey, build class consciousness. But the lumpen, the people closest to the struggle, the colonized blacks and the indigenous people of the Americas, we already understand exactly what's going on. We don't have the language for it, so we can't validate it through this, colonial language. But luckily for us, while we were sitting here listening to Fanon, literally, the professional managerial class is the barrier between the people and the power, and we need to break that down. It's really crazy because it shows that the professional managerial class, like in this video that we're going to see, they don't know anything about Fanon. It's impossible for them to ever have read what this man said, because if they did, if they knew better, they'd do better.
All power to the people. Nah, you're 100% correct. Yo, I'm gonna play it. Like, remember, he just talked about imperialism, Zionism, and he explained, even while he was talking with that microphone up there, why the police are here to serve imperialists. And the police officer knows that. The mayor knows that. Maybe the masses of the people don't, because even for now, say the masses of the people don't, because all the people care about is the land and the bread and surviving. But let me continue this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man signed up to be an enforcer of imperialism. Is there anybody else want to say anything? It doesn't matter what. Okay, the people want to talk. Come up here. The people want to talk.
So he takes the mic after he said what he has to say. He says the people want to talk. Anybody want to say anything? Not the police. We don't want to hear that from the police no more. We don't want to hear what the mayor is saying. We just listen to Fanon. The last shall be first, and the first shall be last. That police officer, that mayor, they're on the side of the first. So he's asking the last right now, anybody want to speak? Offering the mic up to the people. Does anybody want to speak?
The people want to talk. Come up here. This is our press conference. And I'll put my lips all over this microphone. Power to the people. No power to Zionists. That's right. Anybody got anything they want to say? Let us know. You got some questions y'all want to ask? Ask us some questions. We're taking questions. Anybody. I didn't think.
Corrupt cops deserve to die. Oh, corrupt cops deserve to die too. F.U. kill. Was that Peterson?
So turn up your Zionist noses, because your entire communications and media department is all about Zionism and colonialism. We will not stand. I am a part of the class.
What is the lie about that? Your entire media apparatus is colonialism and Zionism. Every single media outlet, you're not going to have a conversation like this anywhere. There's no show on CNN, MSNBC, all this fake media, independent media. There's nobody that's going to have a conversation like this that's going to be sitting down explaining Fanon from Fanon's own words, and then comparing it to the politicians and the people in positions of power today. Ain't nobody doing that, because they're going to take away their little channel. They're going to fire them. Whoever's sponsoring them, giving them money, ain't going to be giving it to them no more. See, we could do that here because we do this for free. This is for the liberation of our people. We speak truth to power because we are the truth. So we're not worried about somebody coming in to take away our funding and we can't tell the truth no more.
that has been oppressed and struggled my entire life. My grandmother struggled. My mother struggled. Their grandmother struggled. Those people struggled. We go back enough far enough and we can see that there was a white European that colonized us, that stole land, that committed genocide right here on America. And you guys want to host your bourgeoisie revolution. You guys want to run your mouths about how disgusting socialism is. You haven't seen socialism, okay? I am a revolutionary intercommunalist, okay? I believe that there is no separation of the struggle. You see my hand right here?
All right, so what he's explaining right now is from UEP Newman about what you call intercommunalism. What I said earlier, that we have to start in our own communities because there are no more nation states. Like the United States of America, it is not a nation state because it's not beholden to the people. So if the people want to change that, they have to start building their own communities from community to community. That's what he's explaining, and he's going to go on to explain it further. Like I learned this by our political education classes. That's where we talk about these things at. But to somebody that has no idea what he's talking about, that has never taken these classes, they don't understand what he's talking about. It seems like a foreign language to them. So go ahead, talk about intercommunalism and how it's all over the world right there. Listen to him.
This is fragmentation. All of these struggles, Palestine, Congo, America, Sudan, Venezuela. But when you put that...
all those different places are nation states. What you call it? Imperialist states, whatever. They do not belong to the people. Even if you go to Palestine, the people that are waging war against imperialists, those people are not like from the people. They're not speaking for the people. Because when the dust settles and they take power, they're going to be the ones in power over the masses of the people that are dying now, that are dying over there. See, this is how deep it is. And so no matter where you at in the world, there are no more nation states where you say like the state is taking care of the people or it belongs to the people. In everywhere you go, and it's all separated. We are all separated. Let me see. We are all separated. Every nation you go to, we are separated. And until we learn how to come together intercommunally, we're not going to defeat imperialism. I understand. Because I watched the video and I listened for every word and everything he said. Comrade Rodrigo, Comrade Rod, I'm gonna come to you in a second after he said the part about communism.
This together, you get the power of intercommunalism. So I'm on Donald Trump's side, okay? I don't like communism because you guys have rebranded communism. You guys have took socialism and the fight for liberation and turned it into something you can profit for.
All power to the people. Are you there, Comrade Rod?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, do you have a question for the brother?
Yes, I do have a question for Carlos, but I'd like to say that I originally misunderstood your intent when you first went in, and now looking at it, you basically shut down any kind of typical scripted back and forth that would have been between the police officers and the people who, I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but eventually the people who were confronting you. I understand now that it was a pretty good last minute strategy to shut that down and basically go viral and come out and generate the interest in the video. And I'm glad that you're here so you can continue talking about the organization. And but yes, I did have a question about that. You said when you were on Trump's side on that one about not liking communism, but then you said something about it being rebranded. Can you please elaborate on that one?
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually an original patriot, what I call myself.
One second, Charlie. Everybody mute. When the speaker is speaking, mute yourself because we get feedback. Go ahead, Carlos. Apologies.
Oh, is everything good now?
Yes, you can go ahead.
All right. Yeah, I consider myself an original patriot. Okay. Like I said, I go back about 5, maybe 6 generations. I get to the original people of this land and a European colonizing one of my ancestors. So for Donald Trump to say, hey, either you're a patriot or you're a communist, you can't be both, that was his own play on, white supremacy. Because the opposite of communism isn't patriotism at all. It's capitalism. So either you're a capitalist or a communist. And the way Donald Trump presented it, it represents, this new neoliberalized version of communism. We saw, I think it was maybe in the 1980s, where the feds had infiltrated all those groups, the Communist Party of USA. That's the birth of the Democratic Socialists of America. That's when they put their foot in the door. A lot of these parties were co-opted by the CIA, by the feds in those same times, and they kind of used that. They saw how popular it was. You had Jane Fonda in the 60s, tagging along to the liberation movement. And through neoliberalism, they were able to take what we feel is pain, they branded it and turned it into a profit motive. We could see this with the Black Lives Matter. It was, T-shirts and, merch, come talk on my podcast and make some money. And again, it infiltrates today's, landscape of what's going on. Because in this video, like we're about to see, a young man started to approach me, but what we don't know is that young man is a part of the nonprofit industrial complex of that city. He's there to play the role and keep capitulating. Yeah, this is socialism. We want to have conversations, and that's just not how it goes. So that's what I mean by rebranded communism, rebranded socialism. The communism of today, where we want to have conversations with the fascists, that's crazy. We never do that. So that's what I mean.
You're muted, Chairman.
You told me to mute myself. Now I forgot. But you got a follow-up, Comrade Rod, or you good?
No, that's actually very, very enlightening, and it's true in so many ways that the how it's been rebranded and to the point that people can casually refer to Mamdani as a socialist or communist, and so yeah, but compared to the original essence of what it involves. Today, it's just a stripped away of its revolutionary, and that's true. You can't negotiate with your oppressor by sitting down with them and speaking. They will never give you what you're asking for, basically.
All power to the people. All power. Hey, let me play. Hey, Jeremy, I'm gonna play for a little bit. Then when I come back, if you have a question, you can chime in. Yo, anybody else got a question they want to ask them? And let me know who got a question. Is there any hands up, General Secretary?
One second. I'm checking right now. I don't see any.
All right. If anybody want to ask him a question, like, you're welcome to ask him a question. I told you, I'm not up here. I'm trying to be the only one talking.
Like the non-profit organizations inside of this city.
Oh.
I've seen the paperwork.
Yeah, I got a lot to say too. But like you said just now, Carlos, like, we know what you mean by these people are part of the nonprofit sector, because that's in every community. In our community here, the Black Panther Party, they got Black Panthers. People that call themselves Black Panthers, they do security for the mayor. His name is Sharif Imhotep or something like that. He's a stunt dummy for the mayor. The mayor uses them to do whatever he's doing, for credibility. He go around, put on the whole Black Panther regalia with the hat on, with all the stuff around, and they going around using Black Panther credibility to cloak the mayor, the person that's throwing people in the streets. The person is the villain. the everything that Pantherism stands for. Ras Baraka, the mayor's on the opposite side. But this dude is walking around protecting the mayor, using Pantherism to cloak him. We understand what you mean by that. It's in every single community. And these are the people that stand up, that speak the loudest, that fight for master the hardest. These are the house Negroes that Malcolm was talking about.
I followed the paper trail. I have smelled the Zionism all throughout your city. It is time for you guys to wrap it up. It's time to go. You don't have no questions. Let's go.
What do you mean by the Zionism all around the city? So let's talk about Newark, New Jersey. All these nonprofit organizations are funded by the Zionist groups that's buying up all the properties in the city. They give them money, so these people who talk kind about them will let them come around. They give out food, do all this goofy stuff in the community, like give out book bags and stuff like that. They pay people. They give money to all these people that are saying they're activists. They're fighting for the people. Because most of those people that say they're activists fighting for the people, they're just trying to get a bag. This is another way for them to get money. So they come in and they say whatever they think the people want to hear, and then they go to the Zionists and they get this money. APAC, all these people, they're in the community funding all these fake organizations in the community. If you want to...
Chairman, I want to add to that too, but go ahead.
Yeah, if you really want to know who's serving the community, just look and see who's funding them. If you see that they're getting funded by the government, by corporation, by Zionist institutes, real estate companies, you know what side they're on. Whoever's paying you controls you. Go ahead, General Secretary.
And it's so insidious that it's written into these policies. Just go to your local city council when they start talking about the development. So in the city of Newark, we have the economic housing ran by this, we call her Lion Allison Ladd. She's been doing this for over a decade. So her development deals is she works for the city, so she gets the slumlords developers to come in, and it was like, yeah, we'll give you all these tax breaks and help you get all this money, but we need you as a community benefit. We need you to make some space in your building for a community space, so that their nonprofits, their friends and family plan could have these spaces where they could go and have these spaces for free, while we over here, because we're shut out from the city and any buildings and stuff, even if we wanted to rent a building, they will contact that landlord and make a deal with them to kick us out of those spaces. So it goes really deep with these people.
All power to the people. And if you're not really a revolutionary, you're really not on the streets, you don't understand that. So when he's saying, I smell the Zionism all in the policies and everything, he's talking about something that's real. I mean, that most people don't get to see because they're busy working 2-3 jobs.
It won't be no meeting today. You go for it.
We are all here for a conversation. And I would like to hear what the police chief has to finish saying. And I want you to also be a part of that conversation, because
bro, Carlos, I know what you say after this anyway. But listen to what that dude just said just now. He said, we are here to hear what the police is going to do. You already heard what the police is going to do. He stood up there and he told you that the dude had a knife on him, that they're going to investigate. He gave you the same lie that they've been giving you for decades. You already heard that already. The mayor, you see the one on the side over here on the right, all the way on the right, the chubby one right there, that's the mayor. I think that's fake blonde right there. That's the mayor right there. Look at her. She eating well. She's not worried about gentrification. She ain't missing no meals. She doing real good out here. I mean, she already spoke already. And he sat there and he heard them speak. So now this black man come up here and he said they can't speak no more. We need the community to speak. What did he say? I want to hear what that white man and that white police and what imperialism got to say. That's what that Negro's saying. It wasn't none of the white people that were in there, because there's a lot of white people in there too. It's rather government official in there too. It wasn't none of them. It was that nonprofit Negro. Listen to him.
This is an opportunity for us to have a conversation.
So what you're doing is you're coddling up to imperialism. There will be no coddling to imperialism. If you don't have a question about what kind of charges are going to be brought, so you are coddling to imperialism. I don't stand for that.
That's the energy we need to have towards these people. That's the energy we need to have towards all these Uncle Toms and sellouts in our community. Every single one. And let me say this real quick. When you say the word Uncle Tom, people are like, Uncle Tom was not the sellout. It was Sambo. Man, look, man, I read the book. I watched the movie. Go look at Marion Beecher's Stowe movie or the book. Go read the book. The Negro in there that they sold his family away, and he was there still trying to protect the system of imperialism, of slavery. Uncle Tom. That's what we talk about. The one that tried to risk his life to save that white girl, their daughter. That's what we talk about, Uncle Tom. Trying to justify slavery. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, to me, that person, that black person that's trying to justify or give space or give voice or give credence to any dog that works for this system, it's a sellout. It's an Uncle Tom. And that's what that dude is right there. The one that's saying, I want to listen to the police. What you want to listen to them for? This the time for us to be listening to them. Yo, just now when we was listening to Fanon. Fanon said the colonization can happen in certain spaces, in certain zones, because the atmosphere is not ready for decolonization. It's not ready for revolution. That this space, America, where we at right now in 2026, yo, we are not ready for a revolution. The people are not ready. You hear that man that's talking, the one that's saying, what you call it? We want to hear the police speak. Yo, that person is not ready for revolution because they're getting paid by the system. Most people are not ready for that. He's not ready for that. And so he's coming in there to try to coddle up the imperialism because he gets money from these people. The mayor probably is the one that signs the check that his nonprofit organization gets. So they're here to try to protect these institutions, to maintain these institutions.
You can get on. If you got any questions about what's going to happen to these pigs that killed that young man because he appeared to be homeless, then let us know. Will there be just so? That sounds like.
And that part right there, Carlos, when you said that killed that young man because he appeared to be homeless, you see, most people don't even understand that. They don't catch it because they don't live that life. I mean, could you expand on what you meant by that?
So the whole thing was really spontaneous and intuitive, and I have a issue with like my verbal communication, to where when I get emotional, as I should have been, but it was controlled still, I don't get the right words. But him appearing to be homeless is me saying, hey, he was a part of that lumpen class, that even the modern, DSA socialists consider still the scum of society, to be thrown hither and thither, as Karl Marx would say it. And yeah, that's the homeless class, the unprotected.
Let me explain that, because like, you see, most people don't understand what you're saying. Yo, like from the stuff you be saying, I understand that you've read, that you taking your time to really like dig deep. Yo, if you don't understand, if you don't really know it, you won't know Marxists didn't think the lumpen proletariat class could be saved. I'm talking about that's people like me that grew up in the ghetto. Those of us that are poor, that grew up dirt poor. Like you saw the video I showed Carlos talking about at 1. He was in foster homes. I mean, he was going through the system at 1 year old. All people like that, people that are on the street, the bottom scale, Karl Marx said there was nothing you could do for them because those people are more susceptible to selling their soul to imperialism. They're going to go serve imperialism. I mean, that was his argument. You see, but Mao, because we are Maoists. I'm a Maoist. Mao said no. Those are the people with that energy, with that hatred for the system. They know how horrible this system can be. Those people at the bottom, that's where you need to go organize for revolution. That's what Mao said. See, that's what I believe. But that don't mean I'm not a communist. Because even when I was listening to Fanon said all this communist the communist tradition, it really started from Africa. I mean, so like most people think communism started with Marx, but people, we've been living communal forever. I mean, and even in one part, Fanon said like you have to stretch communism. When you're talking about race and stuff, you have to stretch it because communism is all about class. And this is what the brother is pointing out. He's giving you all this stuff that we got to go to classes for. Yo, my brain is hurting trying to think of all this stuff, trying to put it together. But that's what he's talking about. And there was nothing wrong with your language or how you laid everything down on the table. I caught it. Whatever you laid down, I caught it. When I was talking about the homeless situation, people really don't understand how homeless people are treated in society. The value that a homeless person is given. Like the people in position of power, like the police officers, the way how they see homeless people is as if they're nobody. They're less than a dog or less than an animal. So they can brutalize and do whatever they want to do to them. Nobody's coming to sue him. That's how they saw George Floyd. I could keep my knee on his neck. Who's going to take up for him? What lawyer is going to come up here and do anything? This is what they think. This is how they're trained to think. When they go into precinct, they line them all up for roll call. They telling them that they're coming in their communities, that they got to make sure they go home, they survive. They need to back up each other, that our communities are dangerous or violent. They have to be on guard and treat us as such, as we are the other. The other in our community, we are the other. Like we are stupid. We are like animals. Like they have to protect us. This is how they behave. This is how they talk to them. And then when they drive up into the community, talking about they're looking for drugs. Yo, you could take all the drugs out the community. You could take every single. Yo, let me tell you something. Tomorrow morning we could wake up on Monday. Every single drug is out of the community. Every single criminal, gangbanger. Man, you could take all the black people out of the community. You could wipe all the Negroes out of the hood. Remove all the poor people. Yo, the issues are still going to persist. The issues we deal with in our communities are still going to be here because the systems that perpetuate these social ills are still here. So when you run up from a police car, jump out, and jump on somebody talking about they selling drugs, dehumanize and take away their human rights because you say you're trying to get rid of drugs in the community, what are you doing? At the end of the day, you're doing nothing to solve nothing. If you remove every single drug dealer, our condition don't change. Rent don't go down. Gas don't go down. Food don't. You get rid of every immigrant. Nothing goes down. So all these things that they're doing is for show. I mean, and they come in and brutalize the people for nothing.
Okay, so there will be no investigation.
Police have asked the CI to do is a homicide investigation.
So
Once I get, because I don't do young enough black men.
I don't care. I don't do that. They invited you to this.
So you heard what he said? He said somebody's going to do an investigation. Yo, at this time, you think this black man by now will understand none of the investigation does anything. What's the young man that they killed over there? They done took his throat out. If somebody drowned, what's his name? What's his name?
Nolan Wells? Is it Nolan Wells?
Nolan Wells. That's another issue where they done killed this this black boy, and now they done. Yo, when they did the autopsy, you got to look at the throat to see if he drowned by water. Yo, the family saying when they went to go have their own autopsy, yo, the throat wasn't there, so they can't really see if he died by drowning or not. This is the same people that he's talking about. They got to go do their investigation. Yo, I don't care if it's New Orleans, if it's Texas, if it's Madison, Wisconsin, North New Jersey, California. Every single police department is fraud, criminal, crooked. They are not going, like Carlos said earlier, they will not hold these people accountable. Imperialism will not hold them accountable. They will only throw them to the sheep when they become so loud. When people like Carlos make it so loud where you cannot ignore this case. Yo, and I dare you to go to black media. Try to find black media, black journalists, and see if any of them are talking about Carlos and are talking about him in a positive light. I haven't seen them, but I guarantee you these Uncle Toms are talking to him in a negative light or talking about him in a negative light because that's what their job.
I have a question for Carlos. Carlos, have you met anybody in that space in Madison that is on the same vibe as you are? Are there any organizations or even people that's on the same type of time you on?
I actually have a mentor that's, she is inside of Madison and has seen everything firsthand. She has developed this sense of apathy, though, like towards it because of the nonprofit industrial complex and the way they ostracize you if you tell the truth. But she's powerful. She has a very powerful voice. And when I went down there, like all of these young people that were in this line, they heard me out. But other than that, the organizations, yeah, they want to just smile and say, hey, let's have a conversation. And after this press conference, this young man that we're looking at on this video here, he actually, in so many words, told me that I should have checked in with him before coming to Madison. And I thought that was funny. I said, this ain't Compton, brother. You know, this ain't, you know, it may be like that, but it's not like that. So, yeah, I expect to be met with, you know, an obstacle, especially when people like this young man here, his whole livelihood, you know, is dependent upon these tragedies.
All power to the people. Yo, and that's what Fanon said. Yo, these are different species. These people are different species. Yo, he may look black. He may look like us. But his whole purpose, his reason for being there is because he's getting paid to be there. He's not there for revolutionary purposes. Yo, and I'm looking at these young people right here that he said walked about a mile, that came there with him. Yo, you know how hard it is to get people, young people, to come to a space like this? These are like little things like this tell me about somebody. I mean, but be that as it may, let me keep playing this.
They can I don't care. It doesn't matter. You don't have a question. You have an opinion that coddles to capitalism. Your opinion coddles to imperialism. Hey, that's coddling. No, or too low. We don't have any conversation. Matter of fact, he asked us another question. You know what? He knows that in no conversation.
And I'm giving him the answer. He said, what is the charges being brought up against the officer? Okay. They're asked for it to be a homicide investigation. And I'm giving him right. Yes. So we got to have a conversation. We don't have to monopolize to get our point.
This microphone ain't even on.
You need to say, let the police chief respond, and then you get to respond back to him.
I don't get to respond back to him, bro.
Yo, and that's the kind, like Fanon said, yo, the time for negotiation is dead. You see, you hear what he keeps saying? Remember, he's telling you like you have this middle managerial people that want to try to make the what you call it, the settler and the native work together, try to make them live together, but it's like, and he's saying what these people don't understand and they refuse to accept, that as long as they're not exploiting you, there is no need to talk to you. So we are past the stage of having conversations with any of these people. The conversation from then on should be, what are we going to do as a community? Are you supposed to be journalist people that are out here? When are you going to start listening to the community and listen to what the community want? But the community is usually never in those spaces. That's the other part, though, that we got to talk about. When they have these meetings, often they don't tell the community, and often the community can't even get in. You got to have like a press pass. Or if they know you're going to come in there and say things that's counter to what they're trying to push, they'll put a restraining order on you. Yo, how I know that? Because they done it to me. They'll call the police, have the police order surrounding you so you can't speak. I could show all of those videos that they do. Because what you're saying, the message that you're delivering, is counter to what they want to hear or what they're trying to push.
I know the response. You are out your mind if you think you're going to hypnotize me to believe that this young man than what we have already been through. There's no difference. This is a puppet show. Stop it. There's young man there in all of these offices. Really get it hard talking. It's amazing about hard talking. That's right. Y'all turn the cameras off. I know you do. Because you better do it. Because I said I'm an anti-anti-racism. What's your question?
Kevin, I was investigating this homicide. I like that answer. What's your question? Let him finish so that we can actually hear this.
And then you're yelling at a black woman continuing
But you see the confusion. You see, when you go to these spaces and you try to affirm our humanity, other black people are going to stand up for imperialism and demand to give a space for imperialism, for white supremacy at the table. I mean, that's everywhere you go. When you start to do this work, when you really because everybody say they do this work. Like, yeah, I'm in the community, we do this work. No, you don't. You don't do nothing. You do absolutely nothing. You work for the government, they give you a check, and you just sit there in the AC, in the air-conditioned room. You're not in the community doing anything. But when you really out there on the ground doing this work, you see the isolation, how they isolate you. You isolated from jobs. Yo, they used to tell me I couldn't go to my son's basketball game. I used to go to the game. Yo, I used to be a coach. They used to tell me I can't go to the game. I can't even sit at the table. I can't even sit at the coach's bench. That was in the city, right here in this city, in Newark, New Jersey, with black politicians, black mayor, black police, all of this stuff. Yo, people always complain like, why are you always talking about black people? Why are you not focusing on white people? Because they serve as offensive linemen for white people. You can't even get the white supremacy because these Negroes are in the way. Like him. He just, because they're paying him, he's getting money from some nonprofit. He belongs to one of the nonprofits, just like the mayor in Newark, New Jersey has all these fake nonprofits, organizations in the city. They do this everywhere. This is normal business. When they say politics like start locally. I mean, you could get more done locally in your own community. They're lying. In this institutions here, in this electoral process game, you can't get nothing done because they got political bosses everywhere that's been running the same racket for generations. And there's nothing you could do. And there's no light on them. There's nobody watching them. You see, on the federal level, I mean, people may be watching there. But when you come into this little community, these little cities, man, ain't nobody watching these people. They will kill you. They will shoot up your house. I mean, but yeah, man. So, anybody got something to talk about? Anybody got a question for the comrade? Talk to me, man. Before I wrap up with real quick.
Hey, it's Jerry. Yeah, I was Gary. I have to hop off in a second here, but I just want to say no. I like this because I mean we got to disrupt what they're doing.
Hold up, Jeremy. Why your camera not on, Jeremy?
Oh, I got to turn that on too.
Nah, no, listen. Nah, but check it out. I'm saying this to Jeremy. But I'm saying this to everybody that's here. I should have said this to Comrade Rodrigo too. Everybody that come on here, we have to show that we out here. We have to show that we support him, show our faces, show that we stand next to him. Anybody that's willing to stand up against the system, we stand next to you. I mean, so when you come on here to ask your question, even Comrade Carlos, when you come on, I want you to show your face. I want people to see you. We not hiding. We not ashamed of nothing we doing. I mean, we here, we looking for people that feel like us to join us. But go ahead, man. Go ahead, Jeremy. Ask your question. My bad, comrade.
Oh, no, I don't really have a question. I just want to say I appreciate what you did. I think I'm all about civil disobedience. Being disruptive, I think Chairman knows that about me. But yeah, if there's anything else we could because I would like to come out to Madison. I've seen there's been a lot of people taking the streets, which is good. I feel like as time goes on, more and more people are going to start seeing the point of what we do because, I get a lot of pushback online too. So, yeah, people maybe not understand why we do what we do right now, but they will. They will because it's just going to keep getting more chaotic if people keep bending the knee to capitalism and white supremacy. So we got to put a stop to it. It's the only option we have. You know what I mean? So, no, I like being because I like being in ISIS face and just being out there and I'd rather be on the streets doing pop-up stuff at the last second. But obviously the problem I always have is rallying enough people to attend even stuff that is organized. So having people attend pop-up stuff, is difficult to do. Do you have any suggestions or anything that works for you think, as far as getting people rallied and around certain issues?
I don't know why my camera isn't showing.
You talking to you, Carlos, not me.
Oh, I don't know why my camera isn't coming up. I turned it on. I have this extremely old computer, but don't worry about it.
That's okay. Next time, my God. Next time.
Brother Jeremy, I think it all depends on what type of people you're going to try to organize with. When we're talking about this backbone class, the spine of America, we like to be incentivized, man. Karl Marx got that right at least. You have to incentivize us, man. And you have to understand why we need to be incentivized. So if you don't, I was just thinking during this podcast that I now want to get a youth reading club at our library, like 3 days a week, where we read The Wretched of the Earth. We have the youth reading this, and the only way that I can get them to come there is to offer them some food afterwards, like, offer them some chicken, offer them an incentive, and we work from there. Again, the revolution, like Chairman Africa said, we aren't in this revolutionary environment yet, but we have to use, the information that these great writers like Fanon gave us, so we can, stir that pot a little bit, and incentivize, Brother Jeremy.
I think shock value has its place too. You know what I mean? Because some people just are not going to wake up. but I have honestly, I think dedication is an issue too. Like, a lot of people say they want to do stuff, but then I come to find out they just talking shit. You know what I mean? So finding dedicated people to do this is difficult too. So yeah, I appreciate you telling your story. I loved the video when I saw it.
No doubt. And again, I feel like, so no 2 days are alike, like a snowflake. No two organizational meetings are going to be alike. But I feel like we have to understand that how we perceive it is not how everybody else perceives it. And sometimes we get frustrated when we're trying to organize, like, oh, why don't you guys see what we see? And I don't think that should matter. We should just keep going in the path of whatever we believe in. As long as we keep doing the work, hey, we build this new table, these outside, independent institutions, and it'll all fall together, because the capitalist class is going to continue to oppress people, and they'll come to one day. And when they come to, we have to make sure that we're ready to, help them, be a parachute for them.
All power to the people.
Chairman, hold on. Before you go on, go back to the press conference and go to the part where the female protester said her piece. The one that was holding the sign. She was going back and forth with the managerial class.
Do you know what minute mark that was?
Right here. I think it's probably over here. Play it. Yeah, try right. Fast forward a little bit.
You say what?
Fast forward a little bit.
Fast forward. Let me see. I want to get when she's talking. I'm gonna tell you like you be telling me. Why you ain't get the minute mark?
I know. There, right. There it goes.
You think it's right?
Keep going. It's after he sits down, I believe, and then she starts getting into it with him. Carlos, you know the part, because you was like, if he jumped up on her, you was gonna beat his ass. You remember, Carlos?
Yes, I think we passed it up.
We did.
It was. You talking about the dialogue between this young lady that marched in with us with the sign and the young man with the black shirt. Yeah, we passed it up a little bit. It's coming now. We keep going a little bit.
Keep going back?
Yeah, we're going to see her and this young man in the black T-shirt. They're going to be face to face like they holding the conversation.
Rewind a little bit, he said.
Let me play.
Brought up against the officer. You know that was no conversation.
Oh, no, we keep fast forward, though. I'm sorry.
Oh, fast forward, he said.
Fast forward? All right.
I know the response. You are out your mind if you think you're going to
fast forward.
Keep going.
Right, y'all trying to balance off.
Keep going. It's after the altercation, after I walk off from the podium.
I'm going to
walk back to the podium, and then the young lady is going to continue to dialogue with her.
What I'm not going to do. What I'm not going to do is hey, you don't get to walk up on me, brother. You don't get.
And hold up a second. Isn't that what Kamala Harris did with Trump at the thing? Did she try to shake his hand or something? This is a strategy. Like, he's gonna walk up on you, try to shake your hand. He's just coming to try to affirm that space. try to take control of what's going on over there. You think like everybody's so stupid, like we don't know. But what you told them, no, I'm not shaking your hand. Get your punk ass out of here. Yo, let me play it.
Shaking those motherfucking hands with no imperialists. I don't do that. You're in my space right now, too. Now, I'm going to back up right here, and if you keep walking up on me, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Let me put my things down. That's aggression. I'm backing up. This man approach me. I don't care if your hand was out, brother. Don't do that. I'm from the ghetto. I'm from gang culture. We don't do that, brother. Don't walk up on me like that. I have PTSD. Okay, so.
Yo, keep going. Keep playing it. I didn't hear you, General Secretary.
Yes, please keep playing. Yes.
And that's the problem right there.
Wait, so tell him to calm down. No. Right, tell him to calm down. Yeah, I'm tired too. So he's gonna have a conversation. Why he wants to calm down?
This is all I'll say. Brother, it ain't no, that's right. That's right. Go get y'all some rest. And these are the ladies and gentlemen that will rest good tonight. They're going to sleep good tonight. Anti-imperialist. That's right.
Yeah, what's that on his T-shirt? He got the name of his group on his T-shirt too. I didn't even see that.
Get him down. What's the schedule here? How long is this supposed to go through?
We don't need nobody that's not in here speaking for us. So here's a president, and somebody really let him know that. It's a new show. I mean, it ain't like that. Let the police chief finish there what he got to say, so we can get our information we need, and we can run with it.
So here's the thing.
But this
here's the thing. Look, it's not your show. Here's the thing. We all witnessed on social media last night a human being take the life of another human being. Stop it, Clyde. Stop it, Clyde. Hey, this Negro only Clyde. Get up out of here, Clyde. You know, sir, I don't coddle or capitulate to your hierarchy.
And I don't know what type of black man you used to be.
You can fast forward a little bit, Chairman.
That's right. That's what you're going to do.
I'm like that.
No, you're not.
Yo, first he took up to the police chief. Now he's about to take up for one of the women that worked there, the politicians that worked there. Talking about, he's trying to find some kind of reason. I mean, that's white fragility. He's trying to find a reason to have a beef with what he's saying. He can't address what he's saying. He hasn't addressed anything that Carlos said. But did I get to the part you wanted me to get to, General Secretary?
No, you can fast forward a tiny bit. It's like when he goes sit down.
It might have been the part where I left the room, where I got up out of there.
No, play it. Oh, he's not sitting down. Fast forward. You know what? Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna play it when I edit the video. But basically she so
they can strike me down today, and these people right here will continue. This ain't my movie. You out your mind. Young man out his mind.
Oh, this is it. I think this is it. She's talking.
That's what you wanted me to play?
Yeah, but she goes on and she's like, "What the fuck you talking about?" But my question was, was she one of the ones that walked with you guys, or do you have a relationship with her, or like, who is this young lady? Because she's my kindred spirit.
Yeah, this young lady was just at this event when I got there, and that's what we mean by all power to all people. Now, that sign she had, I didn't write it. I didn't read it. I didn't care what she had on there because we're not here to police anybody's emotions. You know, if she's in this emotional field where she feel like some pigs got to die, hey, all power to all people. Hey, that's how she feels. The conditions have been set up for her to feel that way. So I understand how, the capitalist class works. and how they nitpick at certain things we say just to, put a target on our backs in their narrative. So I try to avoid it in my own particular ways. But if anybody feel like hey, if that's how you feel, I'm okay with that. All power to all people.
All power to the people. Now, we just wish we could get in contact with her. We love to hear her from her own perspective. Before you go, man, hey, look, we are on order. You know what? I have brought these pictures up for a reason. No, because we talk about organizing the community. Like when you read Fanon, all of this, Fanon is telling you, these kids, when I say the atmosphere is not set for revolution, Fanon says they must know that from birth, the condition and the reality that they're living in. These children cannot grow up their whole entire life believing Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, that they live in a democracy, that their vote matter. And then when they turn 30 years old, you start pushing revolution to them. That's not how that works. From birth, from when they're little, we have to organize them. That nobody's going to pay us. No corporation is going to pay us to teach them revolutionary culture. We do this on our own. We have a summer camp. We have an after-school program during the year. We have a food program. We have a housing program. It took us, we've been doing this for at least 18, 19 years. It took us that long to get to where we at. And that's what we're talking about, intercommunalism, building these programs and these institutions in all our communities, bringing up the next generation for them to be more equipped to fight the battles that we can't fight right now. It's impossible. It should have been 100 Carloses in that room. It should be 100 people in that room that feel and think the way that Carlos feel and think. But the people in that room were not that. You have people in that room that were trying to protect imperialism, that are trying to protect Zionism, trying to protect capitalism. You cannot have those people in the room outnumbering the masses of the people. And that starts from here, from building this institution, from working in the community with these children. Working with these children, look at that baby girl right there. From this age group, she sees that what you're telling her is true, what you're telling her about the police. When they see me pull over, they see me pull the car over, jump out the car to go find out why that black man is being brutalized. In their 30s, they're not going to drive by, see a black person being brutalized or their neighbors, and they just walk past. Because it's ingrained in them that this is not supposed to happen. And it's your duty to do something about it. The work is done in the community. We do work all the time. Just like I'm sure Carlos does work. Like what he said. He said, I'm thinking about getting a book club, have them start reading every week, reading Wretched of the Earth. That's how you do this work. We don't have enough guns to say, I'm going to take a gun, I'm going to shoot down the police station, I'm going to kill all the police. That's reactionary behavior. That is not organizing. That is not strategically building the atmosphere for revolution. And that's not what we're about. If you listen to the brother, I'll just listen to him say here, and I'll let him explain himself about what he was talking about. I see nothing contradictory to what we do here. So before we go, give us...
Wait, one second. Brother Carlos, when you start that Saturday book club, I would love to organize with you, because I would love to start a book club with our kids here. And I'm thinking, we can do it through, you'll have your kids physically there, I'll have my kids physically here, but we can also connect through Zoom, and that's how we can communicate with the book club. So reach out, let's get this popping. But yes, I'm loving everything you're doing and saying right now.
All power to the people. All power. And before you chime in real quick, Carlos, I want you, when you come on, whatever your Cash App, whatever it is, please put it out there. We're the only ones that can fund what we're doing. Everything that we do in the community, we and the community funded. Somebody came to the camp on Friday. They brought 5 boxes of pizza to give it to the kids. They came. People come through all the time and give donations. Nothing we're doing in our community. Him taking that ride from Milwaukee to Madison, Wisconsin, that came out of his pocket. Him going to make this speech, to throw this blow, this propaganda, all this came out of his pocket. Nobody funded this. So when we say we giving out the Cash App, the Venmo, the whatever, I expect the people to help, because I'm going to help. You got to go get chicken. The incentives, they like the kids like Robux.
you got to get some Robux. Tell them you're gonna give away Robux. Everybody from the hood gonna be there. But like you got to give out these incentives to bring them through. I mean, so like when you're doing all of that, you let us know because we're gonna donate to that too. Chicken and free. Nothing is free out here. So could you please give out your Cash App and whatever information you want to give out to the people to get in touch with you?
Absolutely. The Cash App is #APTAPINC. Right now, our main focus in programming is the free bus rides to prison program. I feel like we really need to get that together because the incarcerated are the ones that don't show up on their metrics, but they're the ones that are used for political gain. You know, whether they're, you know, rigging the congressional maps or whether the Democrats are, you know, invested in these, you know, prisons. So I really think we need to get with that. So the prize of AppTap, as far as our community engagement and civic engagement, is the free bus rides to prison program. I just go through a list of these 7 programs we got. We got the Power Institute, where we educate, you know, the professional managerial class that claims they want to be revolutionaries. We set them down and we try to give them some decolonization, but we charge them. We extract from the professional managerial class, and then they have to fund our programs. Like you said, we have the Student Success Initiative, where I want to go into schools and talk to students to make sure they're on the right path of political education. We got the Family Connection Program, which is the free bus rides to prison program. I explained that a little bit earlier. We need to make sure that that's actually rehabilitation. The free bus rides to prison program and making sure these families are connected, that's actual rehabilitation. You know, the nonprofit industrial complex has taken that and they've called it, what do they call it? Reentry now. That's the, you know, the language to get some money off of that. And I fundamentally reject that. We don't take grants. We only take the power of the people. We have a sensory support initiative where we want to increase access to sensory support for our neurodivergent children and families. Body socks, fidget boards, parent education, stuff like that. All of these things involve political education, by the way. We cannot do any of this with this mutual aid or civic engagement unless we're, you know, giving political education, because it's worthless if you're not politically educated. You can give out all the food you want to and start all the community gardens you want, but if you aren't telling colonized people how they got to these situations, then, hey, you just performing liberation.
All
Community
power to the
Academy.
people.
Absolutely. And Community Safety Academy, which is community defense. We got mutual aid networks. You know, we network with these, you know, so-called socialist organizations, and we make sure the people fed. I don't mind them wanting to feed the people, but if I'm going to direct anybody to mutual aid, we're going to give them some political education. Last one is the Leverage Cooperative, where we see that they've taken this wage labor. We give 60 hours a week, and then we need to organize, but we don't have the time or energy to organize because we've given all of it to the capitalist class. We need to build cooperatives so we can merge the grind with the organization, and that's it. AppTap INC, Cash App.
Hey, yo, bro. Hey, look, man, I'm going to be getting in touch with you, man. I told you, we believe in intercommunalism. Man, even if you don't want to be a Panther, man, I need you to be in the Panther movement so we could do that work that we're doing. You talk about cooperatives. Yo, that's all we talk about all day, every day. I mean, you can't save nobody that's not able to eat. So, like, that cooperative wave you on, yo, if you get some people, yo, we with you. We will join in with you. You feel me? I mean, so anything you need, Joe, like, if you want to get your word out, we do like 5 podcasts a week. Whatever you have that you want to get out, whatever message you have, you could always get in touch with us. I mean, we want you to come on. Man, I told you when I talked on the phone with you, I want to come out to Madison. So you set something up and just send me the invitation, and we coming out there, yo. You dig?
All power to all people, Chairman Africa. It's all love, and I feel it. Like I said, I've seen you on my social media feeds before talking your talk and walking your walk, brother. So it's just a small world. Again, I didn't know that. First off, I didn't know that press conference was going to be live on like that. Not only is it national, it's international, which is what we need for international solidarity. So I appreciate you guys rocking with me and understanding my message and not, taking it the wrong way. It takes a revolutionary to see things in a revolutionary lens. So it's all love, peace, and power to you guys, and I appreciate y'all.
Yo, all power to the people. I live for the people. I die for the people. Yo, next Sunday, we're going to be back on again listening to Wretched of the Earth. Yo, I hope everybody could join us. So next time, all power to the people. I live for the people. I die for the people.